For Wall Street Media, I'm Mike, I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else.
Hey, thank God it's Friday, my friend.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah,
I was surprised, actually. I thought it was Wednesday or Thursday. Absolutely.
Well, I'm here to bring the good news to you.
Yeah, we have management changes provided by Liberum Research. First up is Jan Miller, President and Chief Executive Officer of Wainwright Bank and Trust Company, ticker WAIN, announced that Jeffrey Anthony joined Heritage Capital Management, a wholly owned subsidiary of Wainwright Bank, as President and Chief Executive Officer. Universal Power Group.
Can you see it?
I can see your hand moving
down 12%. They didn't like that change too much.
Well, that's good for him departing, I mean. Universal Power Group, UPG, a leading provider of third-party logistics and supply chain management services, and a distributor of batteries and power accessories, announced that Randy Harden, Chief Executive Officer, President, and a Director of Universal Power Group, resigned from all of his positions with the company to pursue other career opportunities, and that Ian Edmonds, Executive Vice President and COO of the company, will serve as Interim President and Chief Executive Officer.
Yeah, these guys are down 8% as well. You know,
how's the market doing compared to?
Well, we're heading in. The market's all over the place. You know, we've been below 8,000, above 8,000. That's about where we are today. But the next stop for this train's going to be 7. You know.
Do you think the train stops there, or it's
Oh,
just
I don't
going
know.
through?
I don't know. We might just keep riding that little choo-choo right on to 6,000. These guys are down. You know, heading into earnings season. When you've got a CEO or a CFO leaving, right? Like Zale's CFO just left,
It's
right?
bad timing, right?
Yeah. You know, Forbes had that list that I have on our blog today about the companies that may not make it through 2009. I showed you this morning, right? And Zales are on there, and their CFO just left, right? You know, pretty rough time right now.
Absolutely. Next up in our management change list is Standard Register, ticker SR, a leading provider of document and print management services, announced the appointment of Joseph Morgan, Jr., as President and Chief Executive Officer. He was also elected to a seat on SR's Board of Directors. United Health Group, ticker UNH, named Larry Renfro, Executive Vice President, United Health Group, and Chief Executive Officer of Ovations. Ovations is United Health Group's senior health business and the nation's largest and most diversified Medicare operator. That's all we have in terms of management changes.
Well, I saw a couple things this morning that are going to happen, going to impact the market in the U.S. I saw where our new Treasury Secretary who doesn't pay taxes started off in smashing fashion, taunting the Chinese and telling them that they manipulate the currency, which is not going to make them very happy. And for those of you civilians, China are the largest holders of United States treasuries, which we use these days to keep open for business.
And we didn't have a steady relationship with China to begin with, so this is actually not very good.
Right, and they're very touchy to comment on their manipulating it, right? They're building a market economy and an open market and a free economy, right? And moving slowly into capitalism, and they feel that it's necessary to keep it pegged where it is so that they can have a smooth transition, right? And they're the biggest buyer of treasuries these days, so that's sure to piss off the people who are funding you and funding all the bailouts and everything else. So that wasn't off to a good start. And then I also saw the Senate delayed the digital TV transition, which was supposed to be today, tomorrow, whatever, until June.
They announced it for like 2 years now, right?
Right.
So why the delay?
Who knows, Mike? But the good news is that the United States is soon going to be able to qualify for our own third world aid. So, you know, because we're not going to have digital TV, we're going to have China isn't going to give us any money to bail ourselves out anymore.
I think it takes some more to go into that category. I think
we're not too far away. I'm going to qualify for my own third world aid because I am an idiot, and I made some trades this morning. Well, swamped with business stuff, right? And I saw this morning a couple trades I thought were interesting, jumped into them, but I had too much other stuff to do. And this is a story to tell you what you shouldn't do, learn from my mistakes. I liked the two trades. I was long FAS, which was the triple financial blue. I thought after getting rid of Thane yesterday, right, the banks might take a little pop, right? And I wasn't able to pay attention. I had emails here and there and some stuff to look into, right, and some paperwork to get done. And I was also short Best Buy, right? Howard from StockTwits was short Capital One. He's been saying that for a long time, and I always kept thinking I jumped in too late to it. You know, I didn't want to jump in at the end of it, right? And he made a pile on that, and this is his next short, is Best Buy. And I thought, gosh, that sounds right. You know, if everybody's hurting and the economy's spiraling down and you don't have to buy digital TVs immediately, right? All of these factors coming into play, maybe he's right? And I jumped in, shorted it, right? And went back and got distracted by business and everything else, right? And it didn't move the way I wanted to. And I closed both of them too quickly so that I could get on with the business, and
And now it's
FAS
gone.
ended up going up and Best Buy ended up going down quite a bit, you know.
You're always too fast with the whole selling or
Well,
buying.
do you know what? I had too much other to do, right? And I couldn't sit and focus on them, right? And so I didn't get a feel for what's happening, and you shouldn't do that. Learn from my mistakes, right? It cost myself probably $1,800 this morning, not paying attention.
We talked about Harley Davidson earlier this morning. What's
Yes, we
going on
did.
with them?
You had a great point on those, Mike, where you said that you know, we're probably a little late on this, right? I wish we would have shorted them a year ago. They're really a baby boomer thing, right? I was never fascinated by them, and you know,
I don't know any of my friends that are my age that are fascinated
Yeah.
by Harley Davidson.
My brother always had the Ninjas, and his buddies always had the Ninjas, right? I don't actually know people that were my friends or peers or anything that ever wanted a Harley Davidson, right? And you said that's kind of a boomer thing. So I think that's a good thesis, though, Mike, for us to look for some other ideas in future.
But do you think it's still a good stock to maybe short, because in the long run it's not going to,
Well, they're down quite a bit already, though.
because they laid off people?
Yeah, they laid off 1,100 people today. They're like the biggest employer in the town where they are. You know, it's a super big deal out there at the Harley Davidson, you know, headquarters. But, you know, time might be passing them by, you know, because I think you hit it on the head. I think they really were a baby boomer thing. And
Unless they change something drastically.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, they've been around for an awfully long time, and they may be nimble enough to do that. My buddy Cornell has been printing money, shorting Palm, and then getting in and out. He thinks Palm is overinflated, and he's done that like 10 or 15
But
times.
Palm popped recently, right? Because they
Right,
announced
with the
this
new handset,
Uh-huh.
right? And everybody has, you know, very high regard and wonderful outlooks for that, and he thinks that's perhaps a little inflated. I haven't actually seen one yet.
No. The only thing I saw was the one guy that has 20% in Palm, was
Yeah.
it? Explaining the differences. And it had some good ideas, but I'm not really sure if other devices will pick up on it. You know?
Yeah, I'm not either.
If you're going somewhere
here's
and it
my
tells
new
you you're running
HTC
late.
Pro. I would strongly recommend that you use a brick instead of one of these. It is really junk. I really hate that thing. I needed it for a program that we're working on, right? For technology reasons.
You
and
want
a
to get
business
reimbursed,
reason.
isn't it? You
Oh,
want them to
absolutely.
watch it. You want HTC to say, you
Yeah.
can't talk about us like this on the show.
That's right, because it is junk. It's like working in slow motion. I push a button, and 2 minutes later, something happens.
That sometimes happens on my BlackBerry as well.
It always happens on here. I'm in slow motion, man. I got things to do, Mike.
Well,
Guys, all you can do today is learn from me what not to do. Got a couple of management updates there, and have a good weekend. We'll be back soon when we have some decent ideas for you.
yeah. We're here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at wsmco.com. Thanks.